Welcome back to Road to Fire. Let's chat about our 3-year-old's brokerage account. I'll talk about what an Ugma is, why we chose this account, and share all the numbers like always. There were several different financial tools we researched to help us pass wealth to our child. Building generation wealth is very important to us. We looked at trust funds, 529s, Utmas, and Ugmas, but found that the Ugma and the 529 fit our strategy the best. We did research trust funds for a little bit and found them to be very expensive and had a tedious process. Our strategy might not be for everyone, but I'll outline the pros and cons of using an Ugma. First, what is an Ugma? Okay, by no means am I a financial expert, but I will share the research that I did and what stood out to us. Ugma stands for Uniform Gifts to Minors Act, which provides a way to transfer financial assets to a minor without the time-consuming and expensive process of a trust fund. Essentially, it's an affordable and easy trust fund that anybody can do. An Ugma account is a financial tool managed by a custodian, usually a parent, until the child becomes 18 or 21, depending on your state. The custodian, also known as the parent, buys investments of their choice on behalf of the child. And at the age of 18 or 21, the child assumes complete control of the account. Let's talk about taxes quickly. An Ugma isn't the best tax advantage account, which can be a con. Generally, the first $1,100 of annual unearned income is tax-free. Then the next $1,100 is taxed at the child's tax rate or the kiddie rate. Then anything above that, about $2,200, is taxed at your rate, being the custodian. But grab your phone and do your own research to understand about the tax advantages and disadvantages of an Ugma account. There are better tax advantages on a 521, but there is more flexibility with an Ugma. In this account, you can buy stocks, bonds, mutual funds, index funds, and any other securities on behalf of the minor. Just think about it as having a Robinhood account, but for your child. In comparison to a 529, which is very restricted and dictated by your state and the plan that you buy in. So there's a lot more flexibility to develop your own investment strategy with an Ugma account. Another high point for us is that friends and family can make contributions to this account, and there's no contribution limits or income limits. These deposits are irrevocable, so once they're in the account, they are set. And for a married couple, they can contribute up to $30,000 without hitting the gift tax. Unlike a 529, you're not limited to use the funds only on college education. You have choices and options, such as pre-college expenses for your child, like private school, which can be very expensive, particularly in the state that we live in. You can also use the funds for simple things like school supplies, laptops, book bags, notebooks, lessons, and any other minor expenses prior to college, while a 529 is used solely for college and comes with a 10% penalty if it's used on anything outside of those parameters. But once my son reaches 18, he's granted full access to his Ugma account. At that point, he can use the funds on anything he pleases, meaning he can sell all of his holdings and buy a new car, which can be very scary for parents and be a huge con. But hopefully my husband and I have raised a fiscally responsible child by then, but you never know. Personally, what this account does, it gives my son options and choices outside of college. To us, college is not the only path to success. Although my husband and I both hold advanced degrees, there are many other quote-unquote non-traditional paths to success, such as entrepreneurship, real estate, vocational jobs, and so forth. This Ugma account gives my son options to give him a good start into life. Okay, let's get into the numbers in his account and what we invest in for him. All right, let's get into his portfolio, which is valued in total about $13,000. He has 81% in stocks and 19% in cash. The stock value as of today is about $10,500, and the cash holdings he has is about $2,500. He has a little bit more in cash than usual because he had a birthday recently and a lot of friends and family weren't able to come and hang out, obviously because of the Rona, so they transferred cash over versus buying gifts and items, which I actually prefer. So I am going to do a large transfer at the end of the month to kind of balance out his portfolio. Because he's only 3, we like to be around 90-95% stocks and 5-10% cash. He can be much riskier than the average adult, obviously, because he has a long way to go before he has retirement. Traditionally, whenever he gets any gifts or deposits, we put that in his Capital One savings account. And then we transfer that into his Vanguard account, and that's like a monthly thing we do. So we have an automatic transfer of about $220 going into his Vanguard. We would love to push this up to about $300, but we're paying off debt right now. So once we get that first car loan paid off, we'll be able to adjust what we do for his long-term investments and change our strategy so he can have a little bit more each and every month. Again, I am really boring and a lazy investor, so I invested into index funds, which have worked really well for us. I have about 130 shares right now in his portfolio for the VTSAX, and that is a price around $80 as of today. Again, this is about 80-85% of his portfolio. The great thing about an Ugma is that you have the opportunity to choose and change your strategy anytime you'd like. So as of right now, we're heavily invested in index funds. In the future, we'll probably adjust and change that to a different strategy to be a little bit more robust, adding in other assets and securities to kind of make it a well-rounded investment for him overall. Our aspirational goal is to give him $150,000 by the time he's 18, just to give him a fresh start in life on whatever path or journey he chooses. The goal is really attainable as our friends and family and extended family has kind of opted for cash gifts on birthdays and holidays. So a lot of those things that we get gets dumped into this account, making it easier for us to hit our overall goal. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to comment and subscribe below. Until next time.